Hi everyone, how you going? I am pretty much aware that you guys can't see my face, which is fine, but I might just some things on silent, just so I don't okay, just want to be able to see what I'm doing. Make sure it all looks okay. So what I've got here is 2 packs of Aussie squares, charm squares. So there's 80 pieces of 5-inch squares, just so you know. And I then cut an absolute heap of, and I did that with my Creative Grids ruler, the Stripology ruler, just so you know. Hi Kerry, hi Lynn, hi Debbie, hi Rado. Welcome. So hopefully this video will show you how I go about getting a half square triangles together. I've also cut, just way over here, some 10-inch squares, which will probably end up having to be cut back down, but that's okay to start with. Hi Chris, hope you are surviving lockdown 4.0. Yes. Happy Sunday. Hi Yvonne, hi Lynette and Kathleen. Welcome. Hello Pat. So what I've done is, with all my, because what you normally get told to do is draw a line and then you stitch each side. But what I do is I iron, so I press it and then I'll stitch either side. Now this doesn't have a, whoops, I keep forgetting that doesn't. This doesn't have a 1/4 inch foot on it or needle, can't be moved. So I'm going to wing it, and as long as my seams are all the same, that's fine. So what you would do is you get each one of these, and I like to chain piece. So what I'm going to do is just move my chair over, get these sort of out of the way so I don't knock them everywhere. And all I did was give these a quick press, all the batiks, just so that they were a little bit nicer to handle and they had no creases in them. And batiks are beautiful because they have, and you see they're a little bit bigger than these, which is fine. I'm going to square it up with one side and then I can trim back later. So you can see it got a little bit bigger than the 5-inch. So that'll be because probably when they do their cutting, they probably don't have the accuracy that we do here. So first things first, I'm going to pop one on top of the other and instantly stitch that. Now I'm going to stitch on one side of this line and I'm going to turn it around and stitch the other side. So let's hope I don't press the wrong buttons on this baby. And I'm just going to lift that up a bit, and I just want to make sure my needle's going to hit the right spot, which is a bit forward. Let's start there. Yeah, that's because I pressed the wrong button. And I'm just going to stitch right along that line up to the end. Pick up my needle, turn it, pull out the thread a little, the foot up to the other side, just get it lined up right, and stitch down that side. And I'll chain piece then, so I'll do one side and then I'll come along and do the other side. It's not bad, not a bad 1/4 inch actually. And the needle up, and then I'll show you here. Out a bit, trim that off, and you'll see that I have sewn either side of that crease. Then I'll get my scissors, which I will get my big ones in a minute, and I will trim that down that line. The first things first, I'm going to trim that off so that they even out to the 5-inch square. Alright, so going to the second one, and we just keep going. And this will give you your half square triangles. So this is going to be a part 1 of a few videos. If you haven't noticed, I've put part 1. There are a few videos going to come, and we'll get these half square triangles done. So go up one side, then down the other. I mean, you can go up all the way up one side of the whole lot, then grab the next one. Try not to do 2 at a time, because like as in pick up 2 bits of your batik or your white, because that will be annoying, you'll be unpicking. And then start on the next one. So just lining up my white. As long as you've pressed correctly, it will work just beautifully. If you're unsure, you're always welcome to do the line if you want to. I find it not necessary. Once you get going, you sort of get these done fairly quickly. Okay, so I'll do a few of these and just show you how it works. Now on here, my fold has gone incorrect, so I'm just going to finger press that. I'll turn it over so you can see what I'm doing. Finger press that in the correct spot. Start now. Just so that I know where I'm going. So that's good to know. And we're just going to run it underneath the needle. Now, most people get a little bit scared of doing these triangles because you're working on a bias. Don't be too scared. At the moment, it's not too bad because you've got it in, they're joined together, so you haven't cut yet. So you haven't yet got a bias seam. You're just sewing across the bias, if that makes sense. Okay. I'm just going to do a few of these and then I'll show you how I press them and everything. So I'll do this one and then we'll do some pressing, how I press the seams for these to make sure that they sit nicely. Just trim those off and I'll get my scissors. And I'll move the camera. I'll probably be able to see all these boxes and stuff everywhere. I'm not sure exactly what you can see, so I'm going to just adjust so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so what have we got? Heather, hi Evelyn. Yes, done that. Couldn't find my last piece, so had to go back through my pile and done. So we found a date with Jack. Date with Jack and undone my double up now. We found to have a date with Jack. Okay. Alright, so I'm just going to move in here to my iron on. Once I get through this a little bit more, I will start giving you the amounts of white and that sort of stuff. But for now, we're just going to do this part. Once we have these done, I will put up how much of each there is. You could probably hear my dog scratching around out there. Okay, so I'm going to cut right down the centre. And you can see, and I was going to trim that before, but I won't. I'll leave it for now. You can use a blade if you want to. I find it quicker to do with the scissors. Okay. And it's something you can do in front of the TV in the evening, and just sit there and trim them apart. So what you will do is do all those 80 half square triangles with the white on the other side. Okay, so you'll need at least 80 of them to start with. Now, when you do this part here, okay, you're going to want to open that out. I might just give that a bit of a press first. Press that along there just to lock that in, and be very careful not to stretch at this point. It's what you don't want to do. And I'm going to just open that seam up and down. Okay. Seam a little bit more open. Okay. And this is going to look a little bit skewy because that one piece was the wrong size, so we are going to straighten that up, because at the moment we've got a diamond, yeah, so we do need to straighten that up. And to do that, I'll show you what I will use. Wrong one. Yep. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to use this one here, which is the Creative Grids 4.5 inch ruler. Just take that off. And I'm going to put the line of the ruler directly on top of the line that is in the seam. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get my little board. My board, because at the moment it looks really scary. So I'm going to line that up. So that black line there, you can see I'm lining that up on that white. Okay, so I hope you can see that. So that on that seam, lining it up there, and we're going to come back to 4.5 inch. Okay. And turn. Keep that black line on that seam the whole way. You might need to retouch up. together. And we'll go across this way. Again, lining that center cross line up with the seam, making sure it lines up the whole time. It'd be harder for me if I hadn't have opened up that seam, just so you know. See those dog ears. And now it looks like a half square triangle. Okay, so don't stress that they're not lined up to start with, you know, that sort of thing. You can always cut, you've got to cut them back anyway, and we want them to look nice and neat. So a little bit bigger is better than too small. And if you hold those seams open, give them another quick press. And that way too, you won't get that dark colour showing on the light, and you won't get the light colour showing, you know, through the little show, but you don't get that sort of crossover of colours behind, and it's just a nice open seam. Okay, so you can see it's open, and that'll sit nicely. Yeah, so you're going to do that to all of them, and then once we've done that, then we're going to start joining them together. And to join them together is really, really simple, but it's always to do with your layout. Your layout's really important. So once we've done those, so if you want to do this with me, you need 2 charm square packs or Aussie square packs, whichever one suits you. And you're going to need either a contrasting colour, so I've chosen white to go with this, and you're going to need equal amount of 5-inch squares to go with all these. So if you choose 3 packs or 1 pack, you're going to need the exact same white squares to go with it. You're going to sew down the middle just like I did, and then you're going to press them open and square them up. If you don't have a creative grid, there's plenty of different types of rulers out there, but square them up to 4.5-inch squares, and then we will do another video and go to the next steps. So hopefully I will see you here next Sunday, and we can do this next Sunday with a bit of a demo on what to do next. What do you reckon, girls? Sounds like a plan? Hey? Okay. And I'm not one for ironing all the way through, especially when it comes to these bias seams and things, but this way I seem to find I don't have that full-on stretch thing. I get a nice flat seam, and I can square that up. So that's before, and that's your after. So you can see what happens once you square it off, okay, how much nicer it looks. Even if that was the exact same size, it would still need squaring, okay? So that's what we're going to do today, and this is surf. I've chosen surf, like I said, but I can't see comments at the moment. I'm just going to try this. How much squares do we need? Okay, so let me get my mouse. Let me go through some of these. Come on, little mouse. Okay, easy to say when all joined, I think, yeah. Why are we opening seams, please? Yes, it is, Stella. So when we join these together, okay, so depending on how we join them, that's all in the game of things, it's going to be less bulk on one side, and it's going to be easier for us to actually join them together, okay? If you feel safer to give them a larger seam, you can. That's totally fine as well. It just means that your squares will be probably 4 1/4. Sounds good to me. How many squares do we need to make, please? I've got 80. Okay, so that's 2 packs of 40 of the Aussie squares, and then I didn't even count, so just a huge amount. But you're going to need extras of these. So to start with, just you can do your 80 of these, cut an extra 20 or so. Let's say cut 100 of these for the time being. Debbie McGilry, what size quilt will it be? Hi Michelle and Iris. Okay, hi Judy. So it's going to be like a good size throw rug. Good size, okay? So, but you're going to really enjoy it because it's going to be a nice, easy step by step. But I think this one here, just learning to actually do a half square triangle without having an absolute pink fit is a nice thing to do. So if you wanted to, this is going to be up on YouTube as well, so this will be something you can go back and re-look over it over and over again. Okay, so again, like I say, sew them all together. I fold, press, okay, that gives me that line down the middle. Get your piece of batik, lay it on top. If your other charm square is bigger than your 5-inch cut, okay, it will be cut back later. Don't panic. Line it up in one corner. Don't try and center it. Line it up in one corner because it's easier to trim it later. If you feel like pinning, you can pin across so it doesn't move, and stitch a 1/4 inch either side, up one way and then down the other. Okay, then we're going to cut on that line, which will give us these. Okay, then we're going to open them up, turn them over, press that seam, give it a nice press there, and then we're going to use our, if you've got one, or your square, 4.5 inch square, and using that line, just get this, I need to see it better on a white background. It's got a line that goes across. Make sure it's got a line that goes across, whatever ruler you're using. Purple and aqua charm squares. Pat, they are coming. Yeah. How much background fabric? I reckon you're going to need probably a good... I used probably about a metre of percale, which is 150 wide. So you're going to need at least a metre, metre and a half. Pat, I will get back to you in a second. That there is what you need. You need to have that line there so that you can line it up with your stitch line, so that when you cut, you're making sure that your stitch line is on that line on the ruler, that center line. Okay, you don't want that line going off. It might be square, but you won't get your 1/4 inch. Okay, so this will help you get those really nice points, all right, that everyone else has and I never have, because I'm always in a rush. So I'm going to take it nice and steady with you guys, and we're going to do this together, all right? But I'll have these all sewn into little squares by next Sunday. So if you're going to come with me and join me, could you trim it while still folded in half? Just lying up on the stitch line each side. Yeah, I suppose you could. I find it better afterwards because then I know that that seam is definitely diagonal across. I need a 4.5 inch square ruler, says Pat. Sounds good, says Julianne. Thanks for that. Where are you able to change my order from the other day? Lynette? Yes, I think so. Yes. I've just got to go back in my phone, which I haven't done. Could you trim that while still folded in half, or just lying on the stitch each side? Yeah. What I find is, Rado, if I was to sew either side, right, so I've got that one and I've got this one on top, okay, I've actually like point to point here, and I've stitched either side, and then I just take it over and I trim it, all right, then I cut up the center. What I find is the fabric, because it's on a bias, it tends to move, I find, personally. So you'd have to be really, really careful. I mean, if you want to go and rule these up, every single one of them, you can, but personally I would rather go, okay, well, I know I cut these with my creative grids, you know, the one that's got the lines in it, so you can cut through, cross cut, I did it in 15 minutes. I cut all these, right, and that pile there in 15 minutes. Crazy, hey? So it makes it very, very light work of it, and then I know that that is definitely 5 inches, because I don't trust even the ones that do it, you know, laser cut and stuff like that. I mean, it doesn't take much for it to go off, and then I know that that is 5 inches. Yeah. So I'd rather that be a little bit bigger than too small, because if it's too small, that's when you end up with these stretched out corners. Sounds like a real good idea, but don't think I can get the material very quickly, Denise. Denise, I can always chuck it in Express for you if there's something you need. When I made my tangled squares quilt, I found it more accurate if I ironed singly each one. Absolutely. Yeah. I agree, Stella. Each one needs to be done individually. It is time consuming, but the result will be well worth it. All right. So I think that if we go, look, there's no point you buying all these things. As I thought about it, and I thought about what do I show you. And, you know, I'm not a great one for doing patchwork as such. I do a lot more of the arty-farty stuff. But I thought, well, if I'm selling stuff for you to do patchwork, I need to actually show you how to use it, or what to use it with, and different ways of using it. So I thought, okay, well, half square triangles are really cool, and everyone struggles with getting them right. So yes, that's exactly right, Stella. If you take your time with each and every one of these, they will absolutely join beautifully. And having that seam opened out will help. Trust me on that. I've done it where you have it one side and it takes about one tiny little 1/5 of sweet nothing, and then it's off center, and then you can't get them back together. So this, and plus you've got this massive bulk on one side, and then when you go around, depending on how you have your design, you can have a lot of bulk on one side. This way it'll spread out the bulk. Which reminds me, yeah, so good question, glad you asked. Yeah, no worries, Denise, I can do that. And Pat, I got your order for one of those in my head. So Rado, we're still waiting for some stuff to come in. I'm actually still waiting for more stuff to come in, so I need those little squares with the hearts in them. So yeah. What else is there? Great, thanks. Yep, okay, no worries. All right, ladies, I will chat to you guys soon. We're going to go live later. I went through my stash. I know. So I have a whole bundle of bits and pieces and stuff that you're going to absolutely adore in the meantime. But this is a good start. Let's get started with this. You're going to love using this. You're going to love this little tool. And if you want to do this with your layer cakes, you can also do it the same way. Plain material, working out which is the right side. Oh, Kerry, is there a right side? Hide the wallet, says Evelyn. So if you've got layer cakes and they're 10 inches square, you can do it exact same way. Exactly the same. Fold it in half, press them, all that sort of thing, and you'll end up with a massive quilt. So a really big, you know, like Queen King, okay? So yeah, all right, well, I'll let you guys go. We're going live, it's nearly 5 o'clock, so we're going live at 7 o'clock tonight, and those who want to order something like Pat, just send me a quick PM, because I tend to cut and paste those, and then I know what I'm doing. Anyone who doesn't have, okay, look at what colours you have. Yeah, no worries. Now, Pat, you asked me about purples and aquas, I think it was, and purples and something. Where is that comment? Pat, do you have any purple and aqua charm squares? So, good question. Oh. Okay, the short version is no, but they are coming in next week. Just letting you know. Yeah, so, all right, well, I will talk to you guys soon. We will, I think I've missed anyone. How much are the ruler that you just used, please? Good question, didn't even look. Okay, so this is creative, turn around, creative grids, non-slip ruler, 4.5 by 4.5 at $22. Can I ask you how you have your board stuck on your book, please? Oh, I bought this years ago. This was, I I'd say that they've used some sort of araldite or something like that. So like it's really stuck, I'd say. So I can't start next week with warning to make super king cook. You must how much material wanting would I how much? Oh look, Debbie, you would need at least probably I reckon about 3 meters of the background fabric, and you're going to need at least 4 or 5 packs of these fellas. Yeah. Lynette says yes, you want one. I made mine with aqua here. I made mine with aqua here. Yeah. Denise and Lynette, you both want one of these little fellas. I might have. No. And Pat, all right. So I might have to give you that one. I think I've got one of these put away for myself, so I've just opened up a pack. My apologies. Hi Jennifer, can I see these videos when I get home? Yes, Heather, I'm going to put this straight up onto YouTube, and that way you'll be able to get into it. Can I get a ruler? So just quickly, those guys, the ladies who have just put through an order with me, I know I need 3 of these put aside. Just quickly send me a PM because I will forget because I don't have anything to write it down with right now. So, and I'll chat to you guys soon. Pat, so I can't start till next week with yeah. The only how does the Heather Wallace? Yep. Is the white background fabric and flower the other one? Is the white background fabric and flower the other one? So yes, background fabric is your white. Your charm square packs are the other fabric. Yes. Just yeah. Look, guys, really send me a PM. I can just see lots of things I'm going to lose. I'm not going to remember how much the ruler. Yep. I was told if you can't work out which is the right side, then it doesn't matter. That's what I always say, Evelyn. Yeah. So what are you making? It'll be a quilt. It will be a quilt, Jennifer. Does Carol have my last order of charm squares? She sure does, Chris. It looks like I missed it. Sidetrack. That's okay, Lynn. I'm going to put this straight up on YouTube very shortly, and you will see it unfold. All right. Now, if you don't, Pat, I'm sending off the ruler. That's obviously going to be the finished size. If you've got these ones. So this is the medium one. If you've got the non-slip Creative Grid Stripology rulers, you can cut yourself. So if you don't have purple, or you want aqua and purple, and you've got the fabric yourself, it really took me no time at all. All I did was line up the fabric across, and I went 1, and then it goes to 5, and then to 10, and then I literally took the ruler off, turned those sideways, and then did again, like to 0, or like, which is a 0, and then your 5, and then your 10, and I had them done in no time. With all the fabric I purchased this past year, I don't have the colour I need for the binding for current project. Oh God. Can we get on and see what charm squares you have? Debbie, no, not really. I can show you what I've got. So currently in stock, great for cutting binding fabrics. Yes. I I'll still get the aqua and purple charm squares. I'll just make some so I keep up with you. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, okay, so there's blush, okay, which is one. This is Surf. This is the one I just used, or am using. I have all like 2 or 3, 4 of these. So how much is one of those? Oh, hang on, someone's sending me a PM. It's popped up in front of things. How much is one of those non-slip grid rulers, please? I've been after one for a while. Lynn, yep. Yep, okay, Lynn McMahon. All right, give me a second. This one here is Rouge. Then we have Lollipop. And Sugar Gum. So currently that's what I have in stock. Otherwise, you're more than welcome to cut your own. Obviously, it does take a little bit longer. Get yourself started. Now, this one here is the medium one, and this one here is 85. Okay, this is your 12-inch square one. Then we have this one here, which is your extra large. This is the one I've used before because the fabric width was 150, and this is 115. Okay, and then there's a smaller one, and this one here is 65. So it goes 65, 85, 115. Okay, so that answers those questions. I'll just make some, keep up with you, yep. Yeah, Pat, if you made just some random aquas and purples from fabric you've got at home, I'm just gonna, then you just add to them and just add. Look, you can have black. You could have black as your background. You don't have to have white. It can be any color you like. It could be bright green. It could be orange. It could be purple. It could be anything at all. It absolutely no reason to have just exactly what I have. Okay, so can we get on to see what charm squares you have? Okay, Debbie, I've answered that one. Does Carol have my order? Yes. What are you making? No worries, Debbie. Can I get enough of the sugar gum and some? Denise, was yours the Super King one, wasn't it? Sugar gum, I've got plenty of. I have 2 packs of mini mouse. Oh, yeah, 5-inch squares. I think might use that for this quilt. I'm sure the granddaughter would love it. Absolutely. Sugar gum and some. Okay, so I'm just waiting for Denise to get back to me. So, yep, I've got plenty of sugar gum. Plenty. You can use. Yeah, but I do suggest that you actually give me a quick PM with all this as well, just in case I forget it in Facebook Plays Funny Games. Yeah. All right, ladies. That's pretty much all I have to do. Just wanted to show you how to get those really nice half square triangles. Oh, contrast fabric. Yeah. So did you want, what color? Did you want a light or a dark contrast? Debbie, yeah, you did. You'll have to go back and have a watch. So that's your before. That's your before there, sorry, my bad. And that's your after using this little fella. And that gets you your nice 4.5-inch square. Yeah, so there you go. All right, a light. All right, Denise, I've got white or white. So I can do that for you. And yours was extra big boogie one, wasn't it? Like an extra big jumbo one. So I'll give you lots. If you've got, don't open them until you're ready to use them. You can always send them back. All right. Yeah. Okay, go. Look. Yeah, I'm pretty much done with what I had to chat to you about. Yeah, so it's a bit of a guess for me today, Denise, to get the size right. So hopefully I send you, I'll send you more than you need. And if you need to send them back, just send them back. I'm good. Like, if you need 5, I'll send you 6. Do you know what I mean? Just in case, because I'd hate for you to run out and then I can't get them again. So, yeah. Okay, I think this is about the 6th time I've tried to log off and everyone asks me questions, which I adore, and that's why I keep coming back. And I reckon that the Mickey Mouse ones are going to look adorable. You're welcome, Maggie. No worries, Denise. So 2 packs of mini. Yeah. Lynette, they're going to be really, really cute. Yeah. Really cute. Just remember, if they're directional, how we're going to do these things, you know, directional fabrics and stuff. So just remember, directional will change things. I'll see you guys later on tonight. Yeah, no worries, Lynn. Now, you asked a question. Lynn McMahon asked me a question. Did I answer that, Lynn? Or did I? How much is one of those nonsense? Yes, I did. Yes. If you want one of these, Lynn, just send me a quick PM of which one you want, and I'm happy to put it aside. I'm not doing any invoicing until next week sometime because I have a quilt to finish and I need to do it. And we're all in COVID lockdown, so now is the time we actually need to make stuff because we can't go anywhere. Yep. Yeah, no worries, Lynn. Now, someone also asked me to send them a Afterpay invoice, and I haven't done it yet, and that's because I've forgotten who it was. So if you do need to pay by Afterpay, let me know, because then I need to send it through the website. See you guys tonight. Thanks for joining me. Bye.